that stuff video. So, despite my dramatic statements in the last video, I found more stuff to look at. And I did not have to go and buy a bunch of stuff. I just had not raided all of my bookcases. This time, you can see from the shadow, it is shaped like a book. Could it be a magazine? Could it be a comic? Well, if you've read the title of the video, you know it's The Onions Are Dumb Century. So this is not a book that I carried along from my childhood. When was it published? It was published in '99, so it would have been a candidate for a childhood beloved book. In '99, I was 15, and that was when we were all afraid of Y2K. And, I still think of Y2K a lot. And even though I know that, I don't know, I do not want to go into it, but it was a strange thing. So I'm sure you've heard of it. If you were not there, if you're young, Y2K was this thing where we thought the world was going to end, or civilization, because all of our computer systems were going to fail when it hit the year 2000, because old programmers took some shortcuts, and it was just going to reset everything to 1900 or something like that. And anyway, they fixed it, but that didn't really get a lot of press attention, so it just kind of fizzled out, and everyone was like, where did Y2K go? But anyway, from the same milieu of Y2K was The Onion. It was probably one of the first really satirical news websites. They actually started as a real print fake newspaper in Wisconsin, and you could just see them lying around in your corner of your coffee shop in Wisconsin. I'm not from Wisconsin, but I have friends there, and they tell me that The Onion would be like any indie public news art publication that you'd see at a coffee house. But in the mid-90s, it got onto the internet, and I first stumbled onto it in a related link from Something Awful. That was the name of the website, Something Awful. If you don't know what that is, I would say don't waste your time. But in the 90s, Something Awful was funny. It was like juvenile, mean-spirited, kind of straight-up troll humor, nonstop. Some of it actually was probably pretty funny, but anyway. Found a link to this site called The Onion. I clicked it, I started reading the articles, and I was in tears laughing for so many articles. Like, I remember being in pain from laughing so much. And today the articles don't make me laugh quite as much. It just, my humor has gone on. But and I introduced all my friends to it, and it was a thing. Like, every week I would wait for The Onion, the new articles on The Onion, and I still, maybe once a year, go back and click through some stuff in the website. But anyway, so this book, published in '99, when I was probably actually reading The Onion, but I didn't know this book existed. I found this in a used bookstore, this Gardner's Books, right here in Tulsa, and I figured, well, I'm going to grab that. way this book is organized is you have, see, this is 1952, this is 53, this is 1954, so every page is a different year from, see, it says 100 years of headlines. Somewhere in here it says the year span. Where did I see it? Oh, starts at 1900. Okay. So I thought it started at 1910, but I guess I'm wrong. And then it goes all the way to 2000. So it starts at 1900, goes to 2000. Go figure, a century. And the way it works is, not only is every page dedicated to a year, but also each page is done in the style of news publications from the year being presented. So you see, this was kind of how news websites were in the late 90s. So that's how it's done there. But if you go back to here, this is 1923. If you've ever looked at old newspapers in archives, this is what newspapers looked like then. And yeah, then 1907, yeah, they were even worse, even smaller print. It's like back then everybody had magnifying glasses in their eyes. So anyway, I'm not going to go through the entire book because, we have other things to do, but I'm going to flip through a bit. I'm going to start at the end because, well, some of this stuff was made up for the sake of this book. The later pages were just reprints of actual articles from The Onion, and some of these I actually remember seeing when they were released, and yeah. So let's see, here's an example of oniony humor, and of course, I think most people know The Onion now. It's a lot more popular. There's even a Reddit forum called Not The Onion for news stories that sound like they could have been written by The Onion. Meteors headed for Earth today. Size of Detroit, the moon, a minivan. Time, because, end of the world. Christian right ascends to heaven. Remember, Jesus loves you, said Christ, waving from atop the golden staircase, flanked by Robertson, Buchanan, and Falwell. So long, suckers, Falwell exclaimed. Muhammad Ali, KO's Ronald Reagan in nursing home scuffle. This is really hard to read, but see. Focus. 4 horsemen of the apocalypse swept through the New York Stock Exchange trading floor yesterday, smiting thousands of wicked moneylenders and Jews. The Dow dropped. Weather, toads, locusts, infomercials. I think it says up here, could a rich white male be our next president? So, yes, satire. Okay, let's see. 99. Drugs win war on drugs. I think drugs win drug war. It's actually never phrased drug wars, always war on drugs. So they made a comedy error there. Wording matters a lot in comedy. Killer robots storm home of Bill Gates' childhood bully. Oh, alright, I missed one. Back here it says, planet temporarily closed due to computer crash. That is a Y2K joke. So you see, sometimes my rambling all comes to a purpose. Usually not, though. So, what I always loved about The Onion, sometimes, if it had a really catchy headline, I would read a whole article. Usually I just read the headlines, but I usually liked their little side things, and they don't have them in this in this book, but on the Onion website, my favorite segment is this. They do it daily, I think, and it's called, or weekly, and it's called American Voices. And way back in the 90s, it used to be called What Do You Think? But it's supposed to be it's a satire of how news websites and news agencies, local news, will tend to interview just the guy off the street and get their opinion. And they've been interviewing the same 6 people off the street for the past 25, 30 years. And these people have not aged a day. It's like a middle-aged white man, a 30-something white man, a middle-aged black man, an old white man, an old white lady, I'd say a 30-ish blonde lady, and a 30-ish Hispanic man. And just these same 6 people, they change their jobs every time. It always gives them a new job, and it'll be sometimes normal jobs like systems admin, and sometimes it'll be something ridiculous like Q-tip creator or something like that. And of course, their opinions on current news stories are always just absurd. And yeah, but unfortunately, they don't have that in here. What do they have? Educators praised as U.S. kids lead world in schoolyard shooting accuracy. Jeez. That's still too relevant to be funny. Blipping beeping gizmo wins hearts of Japanese. So that's, of course, the Tamagotchi. Do y'all remember the Tamagotchi? If you are too young, or you just missed it, that little thing is a Tamagotchi. It's about the size of a wristwatch, but it's on a keychain, and it has a tiny little screen, and it was those little cheap handheld games you could get at the dollar store, where you're it's just, old Game Boy colors, just monochrome, and it would be, and it had one game on it, and the game was, you had a pet, and you had 3 buttons. I think one was feed, pet, and I don't know. I never had one, but they were buttons that were designed to care for your pet, and it started off as an egg or something, and by engaging with these buttons, and you have to be patient, right? That's the key with the Tamagotchi, is you can't just keep playing and win. You have to feed it, once a day, and give it water, let it rest, and then you can come back the next day and do it, and over time, it grows, and you can take pride in having taken care of this pet, even though it's, not real, so there's not much stake. You don't have to worry about really killing anything. And what I would do is, whenever I had a friend who had a Tamagotchi, especially my friend Sean, I would, when he went to the bathroom, I would grab it and just feed the hell out of it until it died. So months of work raising this Tamagotchi were all lost. They would get so mad. You know, keep your pet away from dangerous animals. That's rule number one. 7% of world's resources still unconsumed. See, let's go back to 97. That was my first year on the internet. Oh my gosh. Teeny baby trend big with inner city teens. Oh no. These pictures. Oh no. Premature babies. That's. Oh no. So sometimes The Onion was pretty edgy. I am not comfortable with that joke, actually. Although it's anyway. TV Today, all Dukes of Hazzard. Frog with human head warns against dangers of genetic engineering. You think he has a point? I don't know. 50% of U.S. population now immobile. Why is that? Experts attribute the increase in immobility to the rising emphasis on convenience, as evidenced by the popularity of remote controls, in-home employment, and catalog shopping. Alright. In the future, Sony chairman Hideo Watanabe said, children will be born directly into a form-fitting environment console, which they will never learn to distinguish from their actual bodies. Oh my gosh. The Spice Girls, can scantily clad young women make it in the entertainment industry? Jury's still out, you know. So hard. Scantily clad young women. Especially in ASMR, you know. They just never get taken seriously. Actually, I joke around, but, and I think maybe some of my joking has been taken as, like, maybe I'll just say it like I'm shitting on other ASMR artists because I don't have many followers. So, okay, some of them rely on cleavage and stuff to get views, but a lot of them are genuinely talented, and you know, just because they're pretty doesn't mean that they're not doing something worthwhile. I think probably the best one is this. I think she's from Russia, but her name is. Actually, I don't know her name, but she goes by the channel name of Atmosphere, and she sometimes layers like 3 versions of herself using green screen in the scene at once, and somehow it works. I usually don't do female ASMR artists, but she's because I just feel like kind of sleazy, you know. But she's legit. Let's see. 97. Oh, this is 90. Okay, no, there's 2 97s. Wow, it was a good year. It's also my first year in high school. JonBenet Ramsey investigators uncover poor posture, lack of congeniality. Oh, gosh. So, you have to be my age to get that joke. Larry King continues steady descent into madness. Now, unfortunately, Larry is no longer with us, but, man, if you have not seen it, there's this, so it's recorded, someone put it on YouTube, but Larry King was interviewing Sharon Tate's sister. Now, Sharon Tate, I think, has probably got a bit of a surge of interest lately because of some Charles Manson TV shows and movies and stuff. But So Sharon Tate was murdered by Charles Manson, and she was married to the director Roman Polanski. Roman Polanski did have some legal trouble because he slept with a 12-year-old girl in America, and so he fled to Europe. That was after his wife was murdered. Now, Larry King was interviewing Sharon Tate's sister, and she asked him, Larry King asked her, do you keep in touch with Roman Polanski? And she said, yeah, I talk to Roman all the time, because, he really loved his wife, Sharon Tate. And, they had a child, an unborn child who was murdered then, and he continues to have a good relationship with her family. And Larry King says, wow, how can you talk to a man who so brutally murdered your sister? And there's this awkward silence, and she says, Roman didn't murder my sister, Charles Manson did. And anyway, yeah, Descent into Madness is kind of harsh, but yes, he was definitely losing it. I don't know if my laughing is very good for ASMR, but I'm sorry. Anyway, I remember when this article first dropped. Oprah secedes from U.S., forms independent nation of cheesecake-eating housewives, Ugogirl. That was back when Oprah still had her TV show. Christian Coalition holds million-man potluck. Bob Dole. So, the joke there is, of course, Bob Dole used to refer to himself in the third person a lot. Nation's 14-year-old boys demand more precise TV rating system. For example, is there sexually suggestive content, violence, profanity, partial nudity? Without such knowledge, we risk wasting our time on clean shows that are suitable for family viewing. Must-see TV now enforced by law. I just love dumb jokes like this. 95. Wow, going way back there. Alec Baldwin signs 2-year deal to care about environment. Ricky Lake casting she all that. Ricky Lake was just another sleazy daytime talk show. And just like the Cash Me Outside girl, everyone on Ricky Lake thought they were all that, so why that's funny. Macintosh PC rivalry comes to head in violent chat session. TV Today, soothing flashing lights on picture box. Let's get back to the 80s, actually. I'm gonna go to 84, because that was the year I was born. This is a good one. Mr. T releases Pity List 86. All the fools he pity. I pity the following fools: James B. Henderson, Clarence Austin, Priscilla. Mr. T. And as you can see, the style of the page has changed now that we're back in the 80s. You don't have these infographics that were alongside. New AIDS disease could put nation at increased risk of gala celebrity benefits. Okay, 84 should be on the next page. Yes, 84. Joe Piscopo, will his star ever stop rising? I'm afraid so. Mondale selects Where's the Beef Lady as running mate. That is so 80s. Famine wrecked Ethiopia makes desperate plea to you too. Please help us, Bono, starving children say. Oh, we got another 84. Zapped screams Oscars. Ay. So, Zapped is just a dumb comedy starring, oh, what's his face? That guy who definitely has never won an Oscar. Okay. Oh my gosh. Donald Trump announces plans to gold-plate Atlantic City. Okay. It's a name I don't like hearing much anymore. Too much political tension. Congress approves orbiting homeless incinerator. This is a great day for America, Reagan says. Okay. Rubik's Cube. Sinatra, I nailed the First Lady. That's random. Rubik's Cube. It's very 80s. John Denver's career in ruins following tryst with Muppet. Did Reese's Pieces pay to have product placed in E.T.? Anyway, let's skip. President calls for calm following nipple sighting on Farrah Fawcett poster. It's the famous poster. Area man's hair feathered like wings of majestic bird. So this is the style of headline that The Onion was so famous for, were these articles about area man was always doing something ridiculous. And you're like, what area is this in? Alright, let's go back further. Let's go to right. Oh wow. Again, my rambling kind of came to something. Sharon Tate, 4 others slain in grisly Partridge family murders. Oh my gosh, they drew swastikas on them. The reason for that is, I think Manson tried to start like a band. They were just not very good at it or something. I don't know. There are legit comparisons. New rock opera makes Christianity appear briefly hip. See, Jesus Christ Superstar reference. Yeah, let's go back to the 60s. Unless I see something else that catches my attention. We're in 63. of these pages now. Outer space falls to communists. Betty Page spanked by authorities. Ha ha. Wedded couples' beds on television are too close together. It's funny. Every 57, everything's nifty. Swellness in America at all-time high. Supreme Court rules U.S. fathers should not be disturbed during dinner hour. U.S. sexual repression reaches boiling point. Your neighbors may not be consuming enough material goods. It's a lot of content. President orders Brando to gain 250 pounds. Stars raw sexuality too dangerous at present weight, Ike says. Okay. There are 6 card-carrying communists in the Mickey Mouse Club. Let's go back to 45. War over 50 years of nuclear paranoia begin today. Our first lesbian president, Eleanor Roosevelt, won. Betty Grable appointed head of U.S. Special Masturbation Fantasy Squadron. Jeez. Cappuccino shortage cripples Italian army. Oh man. I'm not even gonna read that one. What is this? Headline continued on page 2. I guess it's just the letter R. Oh, it's a joke. French surrender after a valiant 10-minute struggle. Amelia Earhart missing. Famed aviatrix probably just shopping, search teams say. Oh my God. Flash Gordon serials testing limits of special photographic effects. We are back to 35 now. Meaningless figurehead abdicates meaningless role. Ouch. Yeah. Kids, here's today's T. Hermannsweibel's special code message. Use your special code deciphering rings to translate this secret message from your swell pal. I have acquired an orphan girl. New president assures nation the only thing we have to fear is a crippling decade-long depression. Stalin announces 5-year everybody dies plan. Crust of bread found. Nation thrilled by discovery of yeasty morsel. Einstein proposes theory of cell activity. The idea, physicist says, is get out there and sell. Always be closing. Phone book swallowing fat captivates nation's youth. They didn't have much to do then. Dempsey Tunny fight available for 75 cents on pay per hear. Ha ha. Man ventures outside hatless. Is science being taught in our schools? Russians continuing to kill Rasputin. I like this. Nosferatu elected Chancellor of Germany. Vampire committed to ending economic crisis. He's good. He has ideas. Mohandas Gandhi given non-passive head bashing. We're in 1918 now. War over as Franz Ferdinand found alive. Pretentious goateed coffeehouse type seize power in Russia. It's fairly accurate. War declared by all. Autumn in Roman Empire almost declares war on itself. World's largest metaphor hits iceberg. We are back in 1908. Horse loose in City Hall. Infant mortality rate drops to 1 in 3. A rapscallion vaudeville entertainer finds mirth in new president's girth. Taft. Earthquake marks least gay day in San Francisco history. Look, the scandalous bathing costumes of '06. Look at that. Just racy. We're at 1903. We're almost at the end. '02. Here we are, 1900. Well, not impressed. That's it. Hope you enjoyed this look through our dumb century, and this video just kind of honoring the humorous legacy of the Onion. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and all that stuff, and keep on looking at stuff. Okay, thanks, bye.